Welcome into HouseOfSparky.com. I'm Bailey O'Carroll, joined by Josiah Destin, co-editor of HouseOfSparky.com. Josiah, ASU able to come into Staples Center, the court right behind us. We're kind of in the alleys, I guess, the undertunnels of the Staples Center. They were able to get a win against a pretty decent St. John's team. Granted, they go and face Kansas in a couple of days, but let's talk about this game. Roemello White, almost a double-double. Did you expect that from him?
Yes, I mean, 22 points, 8 rebounds. He's been a double-double machine the whole season. He's only had 3 in these 8 games, but I mean, he's almost averaging 22 and 8. I mean, the guy is great. He's only 6'8", but he plays like he's 6'10", and I've said that before. It's just his athleticism. You look at his wingspan compared to everyone else out there. He's a very lengthy but extremely physical guy. I mean, St. John's, they're incredibly physical. I think they had like 4 guys with 4 fouls. ASU had a guy foul out. They had a guy fouled. So I mean, it was a very physical game. Rebounds were very important, and Roemello White coming up big was huge for ASU in this game. Let's
talk about a guy who maybe wasn't as productive as we're used to seeing him. Trey Holder with only 7 points.
Yeah.
Do they need him to be any better in this game and have any more offensive production, or no?
I would say throughout the season they need him, and they're going to need him moving forward. But I mean, the Sun Devils have these other guards who are great. I mean, Cody Justice had 15, Shannon Evans had 18. Like, you look at Trey Holder, and there's those trio of senior guards. If one of them does not perform well, there's 2 others that will likely have his back. Cody Justice made that huge 3 with 1:30 to go in the game when St. John's was down by just a point after being down by 18 in the second half. So, I mean, the senior guards, they're able to step up in big situations like that, and they're there when one of them is not playing his best game.
Right, and let's talk about, go into the press conference a little bit. Coach Hurley was talking about that St. John's team kind of resembled New York to him. You know,
Yeah.
Very physical. They play physical. They're not intimidated by anyone. You know, going into this game, I was a little worried. I knew St. John's was a very physical team. I'd watched some of their games in the past, and ASU, I wouldn't say is a super physical team, but they're scrappy. So what did you expect coming in? Did you expect their scrappiness to kind of outshine St. John's physicalness?
Yeah, what the Sun Devils did do very well was draw fouls, and I mean, St. John's was there. They had 3 guys in foul trouble at the end of the first half, and they're physical, but that kind of hurt them. And I mean, what the other thing was, ASU had either 6 or 7 charges. You know, Remy Martin's always getting in on that. He's always kind of like the blackjack guy who comes in out of nowhere and does that. I mean, a lot of charges for ASU, and that's really what helped them on defense.
And we saw, you know, Cody Justice kind of, he had a turnover, I think, and then would get back and take those charges. So I do think that those were super beneficial. Guys kind of turn to those, when they make the mistake, they kind of go back on the other end and want to make up for it. But what else do you think that maybe wasn't on the stat sheet helped ASU top St. John's? Because it seemed like it was kind of a blowout in the first half, and then going into the second half, all of a sudden it was a game.
Yeah, something that isn't really on the stat sheet is that toughness and that ability to fight back. Even though ASU led literally pretty much the entire game and led that entire second half and was up by 18 at some point, St. John's cut it down to 1, and they showed that toughness down there, and they were able to fight back and win. They've been down by 15 to Xavier. They were down at the half to San Diego State. They were down to Kansas State. I mean, and right here they were up by just a point, and then they went on that 9-0 run. So, I mean, this team is very battle-proven.
And how does that factor in, you think, to their future battle, I guess, against Kansas and coming up on Sunday?
Yeah, playing in Allen Fieldhouse. I'm excited to see that one. I'm sure you're excited. She's going, so good for you. But ASU, that is the biggest game of the season, if you want to look at it right now so far. But, I mean, even down the road, come tournament time, a win in Allen Fieldhouse for any team is huge for anybody. And, I mean, Arizona State's looking to do that. They're going to have the help of Mickey Mitchell, who's coming. He's an Ohio State transfer. He's going to provide some depth. He's a 6'7" guy, can pass very well. He lost 25 pounds since he's gotten here at ASU. So, I mean, he came in, he said he couldn't even dunk when he first got here, and now he's, you know, transformed into this new guy. And I mean, the Sun Devils, they could use him against this good Kansas team.
And what do you expect? What is Hurley going to do, you think, to prep his guys? It's kind of a quick turnaround, I guess, and you know, they just finished finals, so I'm sure they're tired and it's tough on their bodies. What is Hurley doing, you think, to get them ready?
Yeah, he gave them the mindset that it's like the NCAA tournament. You play St. John's, it's like ASU's a 8 or 9 seed. Beat St. John's, then you move on. 2 days later, you're going to go to Kansas and have to play either the number 1 or the number 2 seed, given that. And, I mean, he just gave them that mindset, hey, these are 2 very good teams you're going to play. One team better than the other, and if you win that one, you're going to have another big matchup, and it's really just the mindset going into it. 2 games in 3 days, that's how they're going to be mentally prepared.
All right, we'll have to see how they kind of fare in Allen Fieldhouse. It's a tough place to go and play, but the Sun Devils haven't lost one yet, so we'll see if they can squeak out of this weekend, remaining unbeaten. For Josiah, Destin, I'm Bailey O'Carroll. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.